Welcome back to the second episode of Clearing the Queue Review. Today, I'm reviewing 3 different cinematic iterations of Alexandre Dumas' literary classic, The Three Musketeers. So, for the sake of my convenience, throughout this episode, I'll be referring to each movie by one of the following titles. The Good One, or the 1993 Disney-backed family film. Here, film for family. I don't know if I agree with that. There's The Bad One, or the Impact Pictures property of dubious reputation. I can't think of a single person I know who's seen this movie who is like, oh, that one's awesome. And The Ugly One, or the lesser-known 2001 Universal Studios motion picture called simply Le Musketeer. It's called The Musketeer. Not the Three Musketeers I know, but I do what I want. Bit of backstory. Written in 1844 by the aforementioned Alexandre Dumas. I'm not sure how you say his name. I probably should have looked it up before I did this, but it's not Alexandre Dumbass. I can tell you that much right now. The Three Musketeers is one of the best-selling novels in history. People love a good swashbuckler. Set in 17th century France, the book describes the endeavors of D'Artagnan of Gascony throughout the course of approximately 3 years. From his arrival in Paris to his eventual appointment to the ranks of the Musketeers, a group of swordsmen who are recognized and celebrated by the King Louis XIV. If you're looking for a more in-depth analysis of the plot, there's always Spark Notes, or you can find an animated book summary on the BookTutors channel. Shout out to you guys. Well done. Hang up job with that plot summary. Since I've got a lot of ground to cover in this particular episode, I'm going to mostly talk about the characters, the events, how they differ from each other, and maybe splash in a little bit of stuff about the books. Each film departs from the text in its own way and for its own reasons, but they all tell essentially the same story. The Good One. The Good One begins with a scene that cements our hatred for the Cardinal and his lackey, Rochefort.
No, please, God, no! One less mouth to feed.
And then it jumps to a duel between D'Artagnan and this asshole named Gerard, I think. And he shows up a couple of times in the movie, presumably just to shout D'Artagnan's name in the most effeminate and annoying way humanly possible. Then, the hero meets his love interest, whom he never fucking sees again throughout, like, the entire movie. But then she saves him at the end. So, full circle? Full circle. So, Darty, or D'Artagnan, depending on which version of the movie you're watching, it's a mixed bag, really. I'm gonna call him Darty. I like that name, and it rhymes with party. I need you to be okay with that. So then Darty, old Darts, Chris O'Dartsy. Anyways, D'Artagnan meets the Three Musketeers. Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. And let's just say that their first encounter goes not so well. And D'Artagnan's kind of an asshole, a little testy, a little grumpy puss. And he ends up challenging all of the Musketeers to duels. And then Darty finds out that they're all Musketeers, and he's all like, I don't want to fight you guys, we should be friends. And they're all like, okay, let's kill some Cardinal's guards first, and then we'll think about it. After they kill a bunch of Cardinal's guards, the Three Musketeers leave because sticking around the scene of a crime isn't something smart people do, but Darty seems to be hell-bent on proving that he's not much in the brains department and charges headlong at these dudes. This goes not so well for the plucky hero, and he ends up in the dungeon. So after attempting a daring escape and failing, Darty overhears the Cardinal plotting some shit, gets caught, and the Cardinal's like, tell me about the Musketeers, and he's like, I don't know nothing about them Musketeers, so you can go pound sand. And the Cardinal's like, I don't like pounding sand, so he sends D'Artagnan to the chopping block. And it turns out that the Three Musketeers, they felt bad, they liked him, I don't know, they don't really explain their motivations for doing it. I think we're just supposed to accept it because the movie's called The Three Musketeers. So the Three Musketeers save D'Artagnan, they hijack the Cardinal's personal carriage. You know, it's fun. They even managed to work an explosion into this movie. Go Disney! Boom! Explodey stuff. They escape, they get drunk, and then divulge an important character backstory about Athos.
Let me tell you a story about love, D'Artagnan.
What happened?
Shut up and listen to me.
That's one of the weird things you notice about this group of Three Musketeers.
Why's Athos sitting by himself?
Takes his drinking very seriously.
What's he doing?
Aramis takes death very seriously.
And Porthos doesn't take anything seriously.
Ooh, may I have a stance?
So the next day, while they're pinned down by cannon fire, Athos insists on sending the least experienced member of the party to ensure that the mission is carried out. While D'Artagnan is en route to Calais, he falls asleep in his saddle and is found on the side of the road. Darty wakes up and has a sexy stabby encounter with the creepy Countess lady, and then gets knocked out by her henchmen. While the nefarious lady and her chumps are boarding this ship, the Musketeers show up again and swashbuckle old Darty to safety. Lady de Winter is revealed to be Athos's former wife.
Sabine.
Athos.
Stop! You're the spy.
And after some really slow, boring shit happens, Athos waits to the last possible fucking second to tell this woman that he forgives her for the horrible shit that she did, and he's sorry for the horrible shit that he did, tells her that he still loves her, and then she kills herself. It's okay, Kiefer, I have that effect on women too. Oh, did I also mention that she tells Athos that the cardinal is planning to assassinate the king at his birthday party, no less. What a fucking buzzkill, am I right? Darty and the Three Musketeers return to Paris and kill the fuck out of the cardinal's guards. Darty fights Rochefort, Aramis gets shot. But then he's okay because Jesus, and the cardinal is ultimately thwarted. Then Gerard comes back. Just, in case you forgot how annoying he was. Then ridiculous 90s song written for the movie plays over the credits.
Let's make it all fun, all for love. Things I liked.
I can't accurately explain the depth of my love for these characters and this story. I saw the good one in theaters when I was just a little kid. Just a little tot knee-high grasshopper. And I mean, it had a big impact on me. This movie has been a part of my collection for decades, and I have to say, it's the one I feel the most attached to. However, it's not my favorite. While I believe that this is the best made of the trio, hence referring to it as the good one, but my favorite is actually the ugly one.
Something amuses you.
The good one has a lot of fun action too, mostly on account of a surprise Porthos gadget, and really, that's what I want to see when I watch a swashbuckling flick. Dudes with swords, saving chicks and countries and stuff. O'Donnell's portrayal of this character stands out to me as the most honest and likable representation of D'Artagnan, tempering his youth and skill with real character flaws like naivete and overconfidence. We see him fail more than a few times, but we also see him grow, overcome daunting odds in pursuit of his ultimate goal. Porthos in The Good One is played by Oliver Platt, and he's a much needed comic relief in a movie that's pretty damn dark and adult for a PG rating. I mean, look at this, and a pair of D's. Therein lies the problem with this character. He's kind of just there for giggles.
Campaign? We're in the middle of a chase, Porthos.
You're right. Something red.
He doesn't have an arc. He's one of the Three Musketeers for which this movie is named. Shouldn't he have more on his plate than a well-timed rescue and a wacky retort or two?
For a chase, the Cardinal recommends His Excellent 24 Cabernet.
No, I mean, I'll forgive it.
You can't have any. You're too young.
He's a joy. Curry's Richelieu is a merciless, creepy, and power-hungry villain with Machiavellian designs on supplanting the King of France. The movie goes out of its way at times to make sure you understand that the Cardinal is a bad dude. And while this is incredibly enjoyable to watch because, again,
All for one. And more for me.
Tim Curry, and it kills me to say it, but it does leave the character a little lacking in depth. A villain whose sole purpose is the pursuit of power feels almost like a waste of Curry's performance. It does, however, make this scene incredibly satisfying.
You'll never harm another soul ever again. My promise to God. Wait.
Some things you like. These movies are all pretty much a sausage fest. I get that the target audience is young adult men, but for the fucking love of Christ, man, the women in these movies, they're pretty much sexy plot devices. Particularly in the bad one, and in the good one. You know what, fuck it, they're all guilty of this. It's shameful. Someone put a muzzle on that thing! I think what I really hate about this movie is D'Artagnan's relationship with Constance. They share one fucking scene together in the beginning of the movie, and then we're just supposed to accept that they continue to be interested in each other for reasons? I mean, there's this scene halfway through the movie where Constance and the Queen talk about D'Artagnan, just in case the audience forgot about their relationship that doesn't exist. D'Artagnan kisses and, let's be honest, probably does a whole lot more with a couple of girls he meets on the way to Calais. And then, of course, this happens.
Where are my clothes?
Oh, Darty, you dog, you. Then at the end of the movie, Darty's a Jedi! No, wait, it's that woman from that one scene, like an hour ago. You see how they're all surprised that she's kissing him? It's because none of them knew what the fuck was going on either. I suppose it's not terribly important, but it does feel kind of shoehorned in there for some stupid reason. Either make it worth the time and budget of casting the character, or fuck off! Moving on. Rochefort, in the good one, is played by the legendary Michael Wincott. And he is a disgraced musketeer who was ostracized from the ranks for his involvement in a plot to assassinate King Louis XIII's predecessor. This treasonous act, for reasons unfathomable, earns him a position of great power at the right hand of the cardinal. Which, how? In this movie, they say more than a few times that the previous king was assassinated, so wouldn't anyone even remotely involved in high treason be, I don't know, executed? What I would have changed. Keep in mind, I'm just some asshole talking to you on the internet about movies that aren't relevant. So take from that what you will. Constance, baby girl needs more screen time. If we're supposed to believe or even understand her attraction to D'Artagnan, I need them to interact. I need to see their chemistry. I just need something, goddammit. I'd like to have seen Constance maybe break D'Artagnan out of the Cardinal's prison. That could be something she could do. Maybe even after she's overheard the Cardinal's treasonous plan. She works in the castle, she met D'Artagnan a few scenes ago. Let's shoehorn her in right here and give her something the fuck to do. Oh, maybe she can't even help him escape. Maybe she just tips off the Three Musketeers who show up and fucking... It's so little. It's so fucking little, and it could go a long fucking way. Just put her anywhere, in any fucking scene, for any fucking reason. So that when she shows up later in the movie to save D'Artagnan's ass, you can go, oh, that's the lady who did the thing in the scene, instead of going, who the fuck is that lady? Because you haven't seen her for like an hour and 20 minutes. Yay! Closure! But it's all, again, just my opinion. Now, I hear what some of you are saying out there, but Mike, you said you was gonna review 3 cinematic iterations and you only reviewed the 1. Very astute of you, Cletus. Well, the truth of it is I bit off more than I could chew, and rather than give you 1 episode totally stripped down, I figured I'd give you 3 episodes. Thanks for watching part 1 of episode 2. Stay tuned for part 2 and 3, where I review the bad one, the ugly one. Once again, all of the original music was written and recorded by my good friend Chuck Miller, and he still hasn't got his shit together and provided me with a link, so when that happens, it'll be down there. Keep your eyes open for it. I hope y'all enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making it for you. Stay tuned, because I'll review more stuff. You trying to stop me, but you can't.